Howdy, folks. Eric here, back with another standard brew. Today, really spicy one. Incredible spice. We are playing Randumb Luck. This is a random encounter deck with 4 Duskmourn's Claim, aka Parker Luck, a card that I'm a huge fan of. I don't know why. It's just so fun to resolve this and see it do its thing. Beginning of your end step, 2 target players each reveal the top card of their library. They each lose life equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player. Then they each put the card they revealed into their hand. And the idea here, obviously, is we break that symmetry by playing tons of expensive stuff, which, Random Encounter wants you to do anyway. How do we manage that? Well, we're playing 3 different land cyclers, Slavering Branch Snapper, Spinewoods Armadillo, and Nurturing Bristleback. We're playing a bunch of Overlords, which have their impending costs as alternate costs, right? A couple Trumpeting Carnosaurs, big old push pulls that work to slow down our opponents, but also have this very relevant reanimation effect for the late game. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. The real breakthrough piece for me that I found just recently is this Geological Appraiser. I'm sure most people are familiar with this card. I don't know why it says 5 mana here. It's actually 4 mana. This is like the alchemy cost or version of the card for some reason. 4 mana, 3/2. When it enters, discover 3 if you cast it. Well, the only 3-drop in our deck is Duskmourn's Claim, Parker Luck. So we're able to basically have copies 5 through 8 of Duskmourn's Claim, which I think is among the best cards in our deck. It hits our opponent for big, is very likely to trigger and do damage because we have such a low land count, and we're only playing 19 lands, and we're pulling a bunch of lands out of our deck with our land cyclers, further reducing the possibility of hitting a relevant hit. It's card advantage where we otherwise lack it. Yes, it gives our opponents cards, but that's not really the angle that we're trying to play here. We're just trying to kind of do a silly little combo and kind of burn our opponent out. Otter Jones, you got me again. I'm playing a burn deck, I guess, if you want to call it that. The sideboard, extra spicy today as well. 3 Stormkeld Vanguards. Very expensive, but they have this 2 mana naturalize effect as a sorcery. It's okay. 4 Monument to Endurance. I had this other spark idea where it's like, okay, we can cut away from being graveyard reliant. We could take our push pulls out against control, where they're likely to bring in Rest in Peace perhaps, and bring in these Monument to Endurance, something they would never expect, but play very nicely with all of the land cyclers that we have in the deck that just discard for 2 mana, and we can do it at instant speed. Bring them back with the Overlord of the Baelmerks, continue to accumulate card advantage, and eventually burn our opponent out that way. 4 Cease Desist, another big expensive card, wipes all artifacts and enchantments, also Graveyard Hate, very versatile, and 4 Pyroclasms for the Badgermole Cub decks. Guys, it's spicy. It's, is it going to work? I don't know. This is one of the fun ones. I'll say that right now. This is one of the fun videos. Hopefully, we get to show off some explosive kills. But without further ado, let's jump into some ranked matches here. All right, on the play, match 1. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, we have land cyclers, which is good. We have a random encounter. We have push pull. No Parker Luck, but that's okay. There's another one. Let's skip on that one. Kind of showing our hand a bit by surveilling that into the graveyard, but that's okay. We have a few, only I think 2 tapped deserts for our Spinewoods Armadillo here. Let's just go ahead, play an untapped mountain here, and begin our land cycling. We can very consistently get up to 6 mana for our random encounters and push pulls this way. The hits aren't as strong as maybe a traditional random encounter deck, but once again, pulling all of the lands out of our deck further increases the possibility that we really high roll into, say, 3 or 4 creatures. We're definitely not on all creatures. That is maybe one critique here. Typically not that there's a random encounter deck. I mean, it's kind of a fringe meme archetype. But typically they play all creatures, basically, Summon Fenrir's, the avatars. Let's grab a commercial district here. We don't really ever need double black. I guess to cast Avatar or Overlord of the Baelmerk, but this should be fine. Cycle the Armadillo. I'm gonna grab a Conduit Pylons here and then play the commercial district. A lot of extra like surveil stuff going on here too to further increase our chance of hitting on the Parker Lux. Sort of mitigating the randomness as much as we can. Opponent is on double multiversal passage for white and blue. I'm kind of guessing they're like a, I don't know, this makes me think Aven Interrupter, Aang, sort of like Flash Disruption deck. Probably not traditional control. It could be okay here. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna play this Bristling Backwoods. Plan to cycle one of my guys and pass. I mean, obviously they're going to be pretty effective at slowing down my big expensive spells if that's what they're on. But you know, my stuff is a lot bigger than theirs, and I do have reach on this Spinewoods Armadillo if I just cast it. Kind of seems like they might have a hard time dealing with that. There's a Voice of Victory. I think my suspicions are true. Yeah, let's cycle this Bristleback. Grab a black source. Grab our second Underground Mortuary here. We're getting close to the random encounters. Oh, there's another one. And our opponent's not really putting too much pressure on us, per se, but the kind of interaction that they have is going to be quite good. Well, we'll take another random encounter. I mean, maybe there's a chance if we just go random encounter three turns in a row, we just win, and they don't have enough interaction to stop that. I like Spinewoods Armadillo here as a land cycling option too, because I mean, it does fine basics. It requires you to have green to cycle it, but gaining 3 life is pretty relevant, especially when we're playing the self. You know, we have the self burn kind of from Parker Luck. Just another way to break the symmetry there. Yeah, I mean, they definitely have an Aven Interrupter or something, but no time like the present. Let's start getting these out of our hand. Go for a Conduit Pylon, skip on this Stomping Ground. Random encounter? I mean, they're going to plot it for me or airbend it for me. The worst outcome of all of this would be if they also had like a high noon eventually and they could just like chain these turns together of disrupting me, keeping me from playing anything. But there's maybe a future where I get to double random encounter. Consult the star charts. I also have this push-pull as an option. Just for like 2 trampling, 7, I guess two 7-power creatures, one of them trampling, or a Bristleback here. Airbender Ascension. So they get to airbend their Aven Interrupter if they want to. They decided not to. Very weird. You'd kind of think they maybe would just like... Oh, I see. They want the extra triggers from Voice of Victory? That doesn't seem super worth it. I kind of feel like they should have just attacked and then like airbent the Interrupter. Well, I'm going to go for this plotted random encounter. I think the Duskmourn's Claim is a pretty nice draw here. Actually, let's start by trying to go for a push on this Aven Interrupter. So then I can try to go for a free random encounter. And then if they have this interaction for that, I get to Duskmourn's Claim. See if this resolves. I mean, we're pretty much exactly where we want to be. We have all the cards that we want to be using in our hand, and not the other way around. Go for a Duskmourn's Claim. I mean, this is going to start putting in some work, I think. We can just play a tap Stomping Ground here. Okay, Dome. Oh, they got the High Noon, which is not great, but they might not have a way to interact with this Duskmourn's Claim. And we just chunked them for 7, so we only need 2 more of those. High Noon's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. But we have some sneaky extra life gain with this Armadillo here. And it really just depends on whether they have another Aang or Aven Interrupter, you know? They're taking a moment, considering their options here. Plays the High Noon. Means they're not playing anything else this turn. Voice of Victory. Swing it in. Triggers, triggers. They don't have any good things to flicker here. Geological Appraiser. Well, High Noon shuts down Geological Appraiser, unfortunately. Pretty much don't have a choice but to go for the random encounter here, I think. Plays around them having, like, No More Lies as another card here. Resolves, and we hit big. Oh, we hit big. Oh, we hit big. 3 creatures is pretty nuts. You kind of expect 2, I suppose, but getting 3 is pretty nuts. We'll grab another Spinewoods Armadillo, keep this sort of life gain option going that we can do through the High Noon. Oh yeah, it's working, baby. It's working. Aetherize. No, what the fuck? Aetherize. Okay. Return them all to my hand. Big mana here. Let's grab another Armadillo. Gaining a lot of life. I don't think I've played a land this turn. Cycle this Armadillo. Grab a forest. Guess I maybe should have grabbed a Conduit Pylons. I can do that with this second one here. Cycle this Armadillo. Gaining a lot of life. Grab a Conduit Pylons. Pulling the lands out of our deck. Oh yeah, it's spicy. I mean, we'll take 5. Not gonna pass up on that. It's no 7, but 5, we have like enough 7 and 8 drops in our deck to close out the game here, I think. Discard 3 cards, huh? Yeah, I guess we'll get rid of our big dumb land cyclers. They have an Aang, so they can keep me from casting a spell next turn, I suppose. But they might not be able to keep me from... Okay, there's a Get Lost on the High Noon, or on the Duskmourn's Claim. So that's going to be pretty good. That's going to be tough to beat. See if they can put together a lethal turn here. Or a lethal sequence. Because I can still gain some life here. Festering Gulch for the sneaky extra damage. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess they can also transform Aang, possibly. Well, we'll make them play the Aang. Yeah, I guess we just make them play the Aang. Nothing else to be done here, really. It would have been nice to draw like a Trumpeting Carnosaur. You might want to play like 3 or 4 copies if you have them. I simply just do not have them. So we're on 2 today. Hashtag free to play. I don't know. I don't know if they have lethal guaranteed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, they would have to tap these 2 to be able to transform Aang, and also they don't have red to be able to sack this High Noon. They could have like another Aven Interrupter or Aang in hand to sort of guarantee a kill here. But they might not. And maybe I sneak through with a Randumb encounter. They could have garbage in hand. They're going for a stock up, which kind of makes me think maybe they are desperate. They need to hit one of their 2 key cards here. But if they don't, I'd say we're in the money. I'd say we're in the money. I mean, we can beat No More Lies, you know? And they don't have enough mana for Aetherize. Main deck Aetherize, by the way. Kind of makes sense right now. It's kind of interesting. Oh, okay. They get to, I think they goofed, right? They should have just airbent the Aven Interrupter for, like, guaranteed lethal. I mean, they probably have it anyway if they didn't go for that. Go for the random encounter here. And they have the Aven Interrupter. Fair enough. I mean, once they get the lock online, it's pretty hard to win through that, but we have some options in the sideboard here. I think the Stormkilled Vanguards are pretty important. You can also maybe make an argument for Cease Assist. It's pretty likely that they're going to bring in Rest in Peace. So let's just take out the push pulls. Let's maybe cut some of the Overlords here. Pyroclasm is probably not very good. Let's bring in one Monument. Try that out. Try it like this. Cut the Overlord. Cut our graveyard stuff. Bring in interaction for their High Noons. Try it like that. On the play, game 2. Ooh, it's a risky one. We'd have to hit a second land off of this Mortuary. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan. Okay, 2 lands. Land Cycler. Pretty good. Cease Assist. I brought these in as a way to clear up all of the artifacts and enchantments they're a bit reliant on. Keep this. Cut down on a Cease. Ping them. Begin the land cycling. Okay. Armadillo is a pretty good hit here. We have the random encounter. Seems like a tough matchup overall. Their interaction lines up pretty nicely with what we're doing. Go for an Armadillo. Let's grab a Bristling Backwoods here. Just an extra red source. There's a Duskmourn's Claim. Man, would have been nice to be able to go for that this turn, but might want to play around No More Lies anyway. I mean, if I just, like, don't do anything, eventually I'm going to have enough mana to double spell, which would kind of put them in a hard spot. Like, I'm almost guaranteed to continue to hit my land drops here, I think. Oh, stock up. Okay. Huge. So we get this Duskmourn's Claim on the field. Huge. The Desist hits our Duskmourn's Claim, but we don't need it on the field that long to close it out. We'll just forest cycle here. Let's grab a commercial district. Doesn't feel like a mountain forest to me, but yeah, we conduct our business in the mountain forest. Play the Duskmourn's Claim. Play a commercial district. You know, is it crazy to skip on a land here? Doesn't do any damage. We're here to do big damage to you. Take that. Monument to Endurance. Okay. Looks bad in this hand. Good to know. Maybe we eventually just start discarding to hand size. That's kind of interesting. Like, just don't play anything. Discard to hand size. I mean, we're drawing an extra card every turn off of the Duskmourn's Claim. Probably next turn I'm just going to impend this Overlord, though. Airbending and plotting the impended Overlords always feels pretty bad on that side of the table. Discards to hand size. Underground Mortuary. Pretty good hit. Go for another Surveil here. Take an Overlord. Try to go for Boiler Biggles. What do you say about that? Even Interrupter in the plot zone. Okay. Duskmourn's Claim. Chunk him for 5. No More Lies in hand. Good to know. Suspicions confirmed. We'd hate to see a High Noon here, I think, but they still need to answer this Duskmourn's Claim. It's racing them pretty quickly. Kind of feels like they only have like the 4 get losts to be able to deal with it. They're in the tank. They're stun locked. They're saying I can't beat the Duskmourn's claim. Sometimes it just sits on the field and like wins the game by itself. Sometimes it kills you and like makes you lose the game, but sometimes it just wins the game. Pretty fun when that happens. Swing for 2. Pass it back to me. Yeah, go for Overlord here. Not much to think about, I think. Just try it out. They could have another Interrupter or Aang or something. Aang. Okay. I think I'm just going to cycle this Slavering Branch Snapper main phase here. Go for another Surveil. Guess we'll get probably more red sources, makes sense. See if we can like just put a Ceased Assist on top of our library and kill them. Random encounter. I mean, we're not going to pass up on that much damage. This sets up Monument to Endurance +1 cycle as a possible opportunity to kill them. Detect Intrusion. Countering the trigger. Cool. Bouncing the Aven Interrupter back to hand. Well, they're still not really dealing with the root of the issue, though. You know? Like, they're delaying my casts at this point, but that's not really what's killing them. I could go for, like... I could just cast the Monument. This might resolve. Kind of another thing they have to deal with. And if they even interrupt this... maybe it made more sense to go for the Overlord because of the reduction on the Interrupter. Or sorry, the tax from the Interrupter now on my Overlord. It's okay. I guess I'll just impend this Overlord, set up more mana to work with for future turns. They could no-moralize this, but I don't think I care about that much. Just get it out of their hand. They let it ride. Trigger the Duskmourn's claim. Kill them? Nope, put them to 4. That's pretty good. Geological Appraiser is good for now as well, while they don't have a High Noon on the field. Tapped land. I guess Aven Interrupter taxes Discover, right? It's a spell being cast from exile, so I'd have to pay an extra 2 on it. They scoop to the Duskmourn's claim. Okay, nice. Pretty good. I think we kind of run it back like this. We didn't see a Rest in Peace, but they're almost certainly on Rest in Peace. Maybe we want the push pulls anyway because they can just like kill their creatures for relatively cheap. Let's go 2 and 2 maybe. Try it like that. Half measures. Okay. On the draw, game 3, match 1. Double Duskmourn's claim, pretty much exactly where we want to be. Let's lead on this commercial district so that we can skip on an Overlord, so that we can grab a swamp off the Spinewoods Armadillo and start trying to jam these Duskmourn's claims. Voice of Victory. I don't care about that other than the fact that it's pretty aggressively bodied. Let's go for the mountain here. At 3 damage every turn on an empty board, it's going to be a little tough. Really depends on whether I get this claim on the field, but them being on the play hurts us quite a lot here. Cycle this Armadillo, grab our swamp. Another Duskmourn's claim. Well, let it begin. It resolves. They don't have anything. I mean, that's huge for us. See if we can just chunk them out here. Maybe another Detect Intrusion. They're really that desperate? Yo, that's huge for us. We love that. That could be countering like a random encounter. Instead, it's just keeping us both off a card. I don't know. It's just delaying the inevitable. Tap out fully for a consult the star charts. What did my opponent keep? They needed to keep at least one Aang or Aven Interrupter, I feel like, right? Okay, match 1. Game 3, off with a bang. Play another Duskmourn's Claim. Begin the surveillaning. See if we hit big. I mean, that's pretty big. We'll leave that on top. Chunk them for 5. Chunk them for 7. Okay. Back to you. Do you have 2 Get Losts? Stock up. It's not Get Lost. It's not Get Lost. It's pure joy. Double Duskmourn Claim. Pure joy. It's simply, whatever you have, it's simply not enough at this point. I could go for the triple. Should I go for the triple here? With the Surveil backup? Ah, I gotta. Yeah, scoop it up. Okay. Really, really good showing in match number 1 here. Let's see if we can keep that up. Match 2, on the draw. Pretty good hand. We have a turn 3. Well, this deck actually gets a lot better when Lorwyn enters standard, because you can play Overgrown Tomb, which gives you access to black, like untapped black source on the Forest Cyclers. Just a small thing, but not going to be able to go for the Duskmourn's Claim on turn 3 unless we draw a swamp naturally here. Excited for Lorwyn, by the way. I played in a couple pre-releases. Played solo on Friday, Kithkin, 3-0, had a fun run, and then played Two-Headed Giant with my brother. We typically do that for pre-releases. Yesterday, there's a random encounter. Looks like this is Jeskai Control. See if we can take down one of the big dogs of the format. Two-Headed Giant with my brother. We didn't do great. We did okay. We had fun. That was important. Got a lot of Kithkins from my Kithkin standard deck. I'm gonna be the one guy trying out Kithkins. Go for a Geological Appraiser here. Try to just jam into a Duskmourn's Claim. This resolves. Okay, well, they get to see a lot of my deck. Try to cast a Duskmourn's Claim. I mean, this is a sweet combo. I think this is really cool. Copies 5 through 8. Really bumps the consistency of building around this card, because it's a very unique effect. Taps out for a Consult the Star Charts. Okay, good window for us. See if this Duskmourn's Claim is going to get there. It's a little tough against this matchup because they have a lot of inherent burn, being on some amount of Jeskai Revelation and Lightning Helixes and whatnot. So not only are they able to gain the life back and mitigate the damage, they're also able to like actually benefit from the damage that we're taking from the Duskmourn's Claim and boost their odds of just burning us out. Swinging for 3 here. See if they play an Unagi. I wouldn't mind getting another Duskmourn's Claim on the field. There's the Unagi. I think this is a fine result for us. See if this can just kind of turbo out some big damage. Tapped Bristling Backwoods here. Claim ya? 8? 5? Okay, and we are at 18, which is a pretty healthy place to be. We have another Duskmourn's Claim that we can try to go for. Let's discard this Branch Snapper. Well, no, let's discard this Overlord, because I think we actually might want to cycle for another land next turn, maybe. I guess it probably doesn't super matter. We already have this Conduit Pylons to be able to surveil with. That's the important thing, really, right? Actually, we probably just want to play a Conduit Pylons and try to get another Duskmourn's Claim on the field through No More Lies. And they're not quite at Jeskai Revelation mana, so this actually might just be our window. Okay, that's 5 damage on top. We're not going to pass on that. Go for our Duskmourn's Claim. The triple. See if they just like 3 steps ahead this. No More Lies. Well, I'm going to pay for that. We're doing it. Triple Duskmourn's Claim. Get Lost. It's not enough. Do you have a Lightning Helix also? You better. Double Get Lost. Well, not Lightning Helix. That's the game, folks. Whee! Oh, like a kid in a candy store. Like a kid in a candy store. Let's go for our secret tech here. Bring in the monuments. Probably going to have a hard time dealing with these because it's an artifact. Does not line up against what they'll probably bring in. Take out the push pulls. I guess, you know, they didn't really see any graveyard stuff necessarily. Yeah, you know, they probably did see a push pull / Overlord like when I was discovering. I think I'm just gonna try it like this. Cut the push pulls. Try the monument plan. See if that does anything for us. Game 2 on the draw. Decent hand. We have one of the appraisers. There's a conduit pylon. Let's just lead on a backwoods here. Land cyclers. I mean, the overlords are obviously pretty good in this matchup too. Just generically. Play a forest here. Gonna land cycle. Probably just go for an overlord of the Hauntwoods on turn 3. Yeah, I kind of feel like this idea is kind of interesting. I don't know. The appraisers really give a nice angle, I think. Add a touch of consistency to an inherently inconsistent strategy. Let's get a black source. Pretty likely that they just counter this impended overlord, but let's make them do it. See if we can get to find a window for our appraiser next turn. Another overlord's pretty good. Maybe I should have shocked myself there. Random encounter. Well, let's put that in the graveyard, I guess. The flashback could be relevant eventually. Appraiser resolves. Ooh, monument. Okay. See if they came prepared for a monument to endurance. We have one way to discard something. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. I don't know. We don't have a whole lot of discard outlets, but I kind of think it's an interesting idea at the very least. I wanted to explore this as a possible option here, and I'm glad I'm getting an opportunity. My vision for it is like we get 2 on the field, and eventually that'll be enough to sort of burn our opponents out. Ultima. Okay, pretty good answer. To the monument there. Not the end of the world. Overlord of the Baelmerk. Well, I think I'm just going to cast this Hauntwoods as a creature. Kind of wouldn't mind getting the Baelmerk online, but let's jam this Hauntwoods here. Get our Everywhere token. Then that opens up mana to cast the Carnosaur next turn. Yeah, just move to combat here. Try to swing at him. There's a Get Lost. 1 down. But you can't get lost everything. I think I'm going to go for the Carnosaur. Jam. We just have like too many things for them to counter. There's a Duskmourn's Claim. Okay. Is it good? A null? Fine. Who cares? We got a 7/6 Dino on the field now. Mortuary. Yeah, we'll take another Overlord. Seems pretty good. Overlord. Let's swing in. Oh, it's big. 7/6. Coming at you. Yeah, they could have like a Jeskai Revelation by this point. Let's go for... I'm going to go for impend this Overlord and try to cast a Geological Appraiser. That's a really, really nice little combo here to sort of be able to effectively double spell and sort of get under their interaction. I don't have to fully tap out for, say, the Spinewoods Armadillo just to get 1-for-1. I at least get something on the field out of this. Jeskai Revelation makes sense. Okay, I'm at 12 now, which really is not nothing, but we have some Armadillo action. Another Overlord. We'll keep that on top, I guess. I could just die here. I mean, they could have, like, Lightning Helix, Consult the Star Charts or something like that and kill me. These double prowess monk boards are no joke. But I could be living. We'll see. We will see. Maybe. Rest in peace. Okay. Fair enough. Gonna try to go for an Appraiser next turn, I think. If I have a next turn. Kinda seems like they don't have anything. Maybe they have like an Unagi. Ultima. Interesting. Wipe their board. Man, they had nothing, huh? Wow, I guess I jammed this Overlord. I mean, this just kills them over the course of some turns, right? And I get to Spinewoods Armadillo to keep them from burning me out. Ultima. I didn't expect that. They scared. They real scared. See what they're up to. 8 mana. Looking at their cards. Decides to pass. I think I'm going to hold on to the Armadillo still. There's a Monument. Move to combat here. Jeskai Revelation. Bouncing the Overlord. Putting me to 4. Tapping out critically. They go up to 16. So I can play an Overlord and kill one of the monks. And play into cycle. I kind of think I have to do that. Them drawing a couple more cards here is pretty tough. How many Revelations is that for them? That's 2. Yeah, they're kind of just in the Revelation zone. Okay. Another counter off the Overlord. Of the Bailmerk. Stock up. It's tough, folks. Resolves the stock up. Going for another stock up. Resolve stock up part 2. Kills my Overlord here. Okay. Well, we're not dead quite yet. We could just like draw a random encounter and kill them. Because they're tapped out. Gain some life. Grab a Conduit Pylons. Could be our window. One time off the top. Duskmourn's Claim. Imagine double Duskmourn's claim, just like chunking them for 8 twice in a row. I kind of think that's all we have. Go for a geological appraiser. I guess this could hit a monument, which would not necessarily be ideal in this scenario. Okay, maybe the monument idea is a little loose. Maybe we just want to hit Duskmourn's claim every time. Maybe it's a little loose. Another Duskmourn's claim. All right. We ball. Let's get this out of, like, torch the tower range, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty much just dead to probably a lightning helix off the top here. But we have a third game on our hands. Stock up. That kind of means they don't have a lightning helix quite yet. We have a third game. Try to bring it all back. If I go 3-0, like if I manage to win game 3 and win the next match after that, I think I might just keep it 3 matches. These have been pretty grindy affairs. Consult the star charts. I mean, almost 100% guaranteed to hit a lightning helix by now. Unless they cut them, which would be kind of crazy. But possible, I guess. I don't, like, 99% of the control, like, Jeskai control player games go like, yeah, just burn you out with lightning helixes to win. I mean, it's got to be, they pass. They're passing? What do you have? Geological appraiser? Can I just force a tie here? That'd be kind of crazy. I guess I get to swing in. Three steps ahead. Counters this. Well, that's fine. Jam. They block. Okay. Well, get busy living or get busy dying, I say. Overlord unpens. Double trigger Duskmourn's claim. I might just die to this. And I do. And I do. Fair enough. Let's move into game 3. Okay. Focus up. Focus up. Cease desist is not awful here. We'll just run it back. Run it back. Try it like that. I'm maybe not so sold on this monument to endurance idea. Breaking up the consistency of geological appraiser into Duskmourn's claim feels pretty bad. And also maybe I just don't have enough discard to support it, but happy to test it out. I think I will keep them in the deck for now, but I guess let's collect more data on that. On the play, match 2, game 3. For all the marbles, decent hand, land cyclers. We have an appraiser. We have this monument. Yeah, let's keep a stomping grounds on top. Maybe we just like save these cyclers, try to get this monument on the field. Threaten that as a possible. Yeah, let's try that out. See if that does anything for us. I mean, they kind of have to counter this. They probably don't have great answers to it outside of the Ultima. See if it works. Oh, well. Well, I'm going to play the Duskmourn's claim, right? Are you kidding me? Oh, I guess they have a Knolls. That's right. I forgot they have a Knoll. All right, fair enough. Rats. Rats. I want to hit my land drops. Cycle a Bristleback. Just go for a Mortuary here. Conduit Pylons, I think that's okay. That lets me, like, go for an Appraiser or a Monument next turn. I think next turn probably looks like play the Monument and start trying to cycle these. And if they counter that, not the end of the world. Beza? Okay, well, they're going aggro. You gotta respect that. So let's go for the monument idea. Second monument. Seems okay right now. Play around Tishana's Tidebinder. Just go for this now. Let's draw into second monument. Forest cycle. Just grab a regular old forest. It's slow. Maybe it's perhaps a little too slow in this matchup anyway. They have a lot of ways to sort of play aggro if they want to. Are they missing land drops? Are they just gonna like tap out for a stock up here? No. Rest in peace. Well, we don't care about that. Representing a couple mana here. Okay, another cycler. See if we can resolve this monument. Start trying to burn them out, I guess. Maybe we go like draw, burn, draw, burn. I might as well just pass here, I think. I already played a land, and I can't double cycle here. Treasures are kind of also an interesting angle. Help me play around No More Lies. Let's start drawing some cards. I think I'd like to hit like some armadillos to sort of fight back on life here. Grab a Surveil land. I don't think shocking myself is a very good idea here. We can go for like swamp into geological appraiser. 6. See if we can hit either a Duskmourn's Claim or a third monument. Chump around onto the Beza for a little bit. We might just be dead anyway. Going for a consult the star charts. This could give us an angle. Could give us an angle. They might just have like an Ultima in hand. I think I'd rather see a Duskmourn's Claim here. Fight through Ultima. And I'd love to just like chunk them for 8. And also they hit a land or something. That sounds pretty ideal to me. Duskmourn's Claim. Oh, we take 2, they take 0. Not exactly where we want to be. Get lost on the appraiser. Yeah, and if they have a Helix in hand, I don't really have a way to fight through this. I guess what I'm going to do is forest cycle now, trigger my monument, go for a draw and a treasure. Give me a chance to maybe cycle an armadillo. Okay. Win through a lightning helix, or at least survive through a lightning helix, perhaps. I don't survive through a Jeskai revelation, though. Oh, wait, yeah, I do. Let's see what they have. Guess I have to do this now. The jig is up, but I'm gonna start making them lose life. Grab a conduit pile. Well, festering gulch. Okay, 1 damage. 1 damage. It's adding up. I go to 6, so then they need double burn here. Maybe I was supposed to like... Maybe I was supposed to let them hit me? I don't know, because if I go to cycle and they just got revelation me, I'm dead. Overlord doesn't do anything because of the rest in peace. Another appraiser. Just try to YOLO it out. They could bounce the appraiser back to my hand. Deal 4 to me. I don't have a discard. And I don't have a way to recast the appraiser. Because I only have double red right now. Tricky, tricky. Yeah, go for it, I guess. Make them have a revelation. Okay. Go for a Surveil. Spinewood's Armadillo. I mean, that's kind of the guy right now. It's not going to be enough. Ah, we go to 0. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Ah, weird match. I mean, it's always going to be a tough one with just the sheer amount of interaction they have. Game 1 looked pretty good with the triple Duskmourn's claim. I mean, that just seems hard to beat. Definitely, I think let's get off the Monument to Endurance plan. I initially, in my first build of the deck, had just like a couple Planeswalkers to give us a different angle in the control matchup. I think let's get off that plan. Let's go back up to 4 Vanguards. I don't usually like change my decks mid run, but when it's, you know, kind of an experimental list like this anyway, I don't feel too bad about it. Couple Vivian reads, a Chandra. Give us a different angle of attack. Jump into match number 3 here. Match 3 on the draw. 1 lander. Not really where we want to be. I mean, this isn't either. Okay. 1 lander, but it's a Surveil land, and we can forced cycle. Get rid of a push. Get rid of a Carnosaur here. We might want a Carnosaur. Maybe we plan to do a push thing off of these, like off of this like double Overlord plan. So let's get rid of the random encounter and the Carnosaur. Try it like this. At least there's a game plan. Pretty unlikely that we do win this. I hope this isn't Jeskai control again. Okay, good. I'm tired of playing against Jeskai control on the ladder, man. It's like, you know, complaining about deck lists get old. I'm not upset about the power level of the deck. I think it is quite strong, and I lose to it and I win to it, but like, it's just, when I'm playing Magic on Arena, I don't really want to play an hour match every time, you know what I mean? Okay. Well, this will be a quick one, thankfully. Or maybe not so thankfully. We're not giving up too much information here. Conduit Pylons. We'll stick it out for a little bit. Been an Overlord. We can start getting some mana on the field, lands on the field at the very least, but I think missing 2 land drops in a row. This is really a deck that needs to be able to get to 6 mana by turn 6, you know? If not sooner. I'm just going to pack this one in. I think we're just a little too far behind. Doesn't really matter what they have. I guess if they had a handful of lands, maybe that's too soon. Bring in some Pyroclasms. Random encounter, huh? Bring in the Pyroclasms. Cut the push pulls. Cut the random encounters. I mean, they're not usually that good at interacting with your graveyard anyway. Push pull could just be a little more consistent. Plus, I like the removal aspect of it. Cut a couple random encounters, cut a couple push pulls. Try it like that. Moving to game 2 against Dimir midrange, probably. I don't know. That's what the kids are calling it these days. They've sort of changed around their removal package. Okay. I mean, this is a good hand. Definitely going to keep this one. Turn 3 Overlord. A little bit of early removal. We have the Duskmourn's claim. I think we can afford to lead on a Conduit Pylons here. Let's skip a Conduit Pylons. If that was like a Stomping Grounds, I think I would have left it on top, but fine passing on this one for now. Cecil. Duskmourn's claim part 2, huh? Well, with my opponent having a Cecil on the field, this could be bad for them, and there's no way they like called the shot of bringing in a Knowles against me for this game too, so outside of Phantom Interference, pretty likely that this is going to put in some work. Land for land, not the worst outcome. We get to go Duskmourn's Claim Part 2 next turn into District, into Stomping Ground for Geological Appraiser for the third one. This is the truth right here. This is the truth for these lists, I think. I mean, I'm the only one playing Duskmourn's Claim on Arena, but if the other person out there that plays Duskmourn's Claim is watching this, you got to try this tech out. It's because it's really sweet. You might even just play like Rakdos, play a bit more of a fair style. You get a lot of good like removal. Whoa. Can we do it? Can we assemble quadruple Duskmourn's Claim? Surveil. Land into the graveyard. You might just play Rakdos. I don't know. You might be able to get away with that. Play more of a mid-range style. You don't need to play the combo necessarily. The combo being this like clunky random encounter package. So they could Tishana's Tidebinder one of my Duskmourn's Claim triggers. But they like one Tidebinder won't be enough to keep me from killing them probably. They'd have to have Tidebinder, and then I have to hit 2 lands on top in a row. And also, I guess the other thing that could happen is we tie. That's a possibility. Oh, they can't hit me with Cecil either, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of wondering. I guess I definitely don't shock here. I just play a third claim. Pretty likely to close things out for me here. They're stun locked. They've never been graced by the presence of double Duskmourn. Discards. Overlord of the Boiler Biggles. I think I'm gonna stick to the Duskmourn's Claim plan. Only because I don't want to shock myself. I think that's actually kind of relevant. Flash is in Enduring Curiosity. They have shown me what's up. Okay, is this it? I can definitely kill you in one hit. Can you kill me in one hit? Land for land, kill you. Okay. Oh, it's so fun. Triple Duskmourn's Claim. I don't know if I've ever experienced a greater joy in the game of Magic the Gathering. Moving into game 3 here. All right, match 3, game 3. On the draw. I might keep this if we had black. It's pretty slow. We have a claim. We have an appraiser. I guess I'll go for it. Try it out. Cecil. Overlord. Lead on a pylons. There's black. Could use another red source, but pretty happy to hit the Wastewood Verge here. Just play tap Stomping Grounds. Can't cast the Overlord because I let on the pylons here. Floodpit Drowner. See if they brought in Anoles. They're off to a pretty aggressive start. Preacher of the Schism. I need to pick up a playset of Preachers. I yesterday at Two-Headed Giant pre-release, I had 2 of the new Dorans, Doran Besieged by Time. Well, there's an Anole. 2 of the Doran Besieged by Time in my deck. And I'm like, man, this card's actually kind of sweet. And I also had, there's Slumbering, I have it right here. Slumbering Walker. This guy. In my deck. It's a 5 mana 4/7. Enters with 2/-1/-1 counters on it. At the beginning of your end step, you may remove a counter from this creature. When you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Just reanimates Dorans. Find it kind of interesting, kind of fascinating. Want to build a standard deck. Wow. Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm dead. They have the Anole. They can counter an Overlord. And they're hitting me for quite a lot. Yeah, I mean, they curved out. They have the mana for this Anole. A little rough. It'd be nice if I could, like, If I had double red for an appraiser, they'd counter the Duskmourn's claim. I guess they just kill me anyway with a Flood Pit's Drowner. Yeah, I don't think there's anything sneaky I could do. If I had one of my armadillos in hand, that'd be nice. Play pylons. I guess I just have to hope that I like... Let's see if I can make them counter this. Hope that I have an armadillo on top to gain some life. They might not counter this. They probably should. Well, there's an armadillo, and it was on top. So we'll grab that. It's worth a little bit of life here. Maybe actually enough to keep me in this. I'm going to cycle it now so they can't Tishana's Tidebinder me. Grab a Festering Gulch for a sneaky extra point of damage. Hope I don't get chunked for 4 here off the Duskmourn's claim. I get chunked for nothing, and they get chunked for 7. I have to discard the hand size. Maybe I should have grabbed a red source for this Overlord. They have the annul anyway. Am I still in this? I thought I was dead for sure. Just discard a Haunt Woods. I'm not doing anything with that. Ninjas get bigger. They swing in with everything because they're not scared at all. I go to 1. They go to 3. If they have Tidebinder plus annul, I'm not beating that with any sort of arrangement of cards anyway. But I do feel like, in retrospect, I should have grabbed a red source. I guess I have a red source technically off this Conduit Pylons. But I'm kind of anticipating that they have Tidebinder plus annul. But let's just play to our outs. So they have the annul. They annul this. But do they also have a Tidebinder for the Duskmourn's claim? They do. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good match. Fun one. I thought that was fun. I mean, that was much closer than I expected it to be. Much closer than I expected it to be. Let's play a couple more. I want to see this do its thing a little more. Match 4 on the play. Haven't done any sort of big random encounter hits yet. We've been against like very interactive decks for that strategy to like be any sort of good, I think. Lead on a commercial district. Mill an extra Overlord here. But the Duskmourn's claims have been pretty good. Okay. A different matchup. We're not playing against blue this time. Random encounter on top. This could be the game. It's going to mean having to skip on cycling this Spinewoods Armadillo to be able to draw that, but it's probably worth it. It's probably worth it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Because we have to get this appraiser online. Maybe I should have just like put this in my graveyard for a little bit of value. Pass it back to me. Well, let's cycle this. Pick up a... I could pick up like a... swamp here. And... just kill the elves. Maybe not the worst idea. Or I could pick up a mountain and kill the elves, and then be able to have double red next turn for a geological appraiser. Kill the elves with my conduit pylons filtering. That's probably fine. Overlord. Yeah, I kind of would have liked to cast that, actually, but we'll stick with the line here. Didn't know we were drawing that. Earthbender Ascension. Great card. Better than a lot of people expected it to be, I think, but once you see it in action, it makes a lot of sense. Ramps, so the floor is quite high for 3, and then another Duskmourn's claim. Well, I mean, we're going to do this anyway. Hit our Duskmourn's claim. Let the pain commence. Chunky for 5. We take 1. Exactly where we like to be. Lumbering World Wagon might be a bit of a problem if they manage to turn on the Earthbender Ascension, give it trample, and also have a Mightform Harmonizer. I could see that being a pretty effective way to kill us. So they'll be able to turn on the Ascension for Trample. The question is, do they have a Mightform Harmonizer to go for the one-hit KO? Because we might actually be able to race them. Another Duskmourn's Claim. Well, gonna go for that. No sense in holding up 3 damage. It's not gonna do anything. Chunk you for 5, give you lands. Chunk you for 0, give you lands. Esper Origins, that is not Mightform Harmonizer, which is excellent news. They could hit it still, and it probably would be lethal if they reveal it off of this Esper Origins. They do not. More lands. Could be a window for us here. Double Duskmourn's Claim, 1 damage off of Bristling Backwoods. Decent chance that we get them. Swinging in. No blocks. 14 to 14. But whose 14 is better? I need to get pretty lucky here. Slobbering Branch Snapper. Could be worthwhile to go for a Surveil here. Could be worthwhile to swing in and kill the Espermaduin with the Carnosaur. That probably doesn't matter too much. They're going to be able to crew the wagon anyway. Probably just have to play 2, just trying to kill them with this, with these Duskmourn's Claims, and I think the best odds of doing that are with a Surveil in the mix over the 1 damage, I think. Because 1 damage puts them at 13, which kills them. It opens up the possible like combinations of things that kill them. It's tricky. Yeah, let's go for 1 damage. This lets 6 and 7 kill them. 6, 7, you know, rather than needing to hit double 7s. Did we do it? Did we do it? Come on, 1 time. Chunk them out. Chunky for 6. Chunky for 7. Oh, it's 6. Oh no. All right, GG's. Dang, dude. We were pretty close. We were pretty close. Bring in the Vanguards. Bring in the Ceased Assists. Seem pretty good here. Let's cut our graveyard stuff. Just cut the push poles. Vivian Reeds seem okay, actually, also. But kind of messes with our creature count. Maybe we bring in the Vivian Reeds on the draw. Try to go for a more interactive plan on the draw, but on the play, just try to get them. Overlords are a little slow. Well, Boiler Biggle seems decent. Try it like that. Try it like that. Cut the push poles, cut the Overlords of the Bailmerk. Try it like that. Shout out to Baldur's Gate 3, by the way. Pretty good game. It's close. Once again, kind of being hurt by the lack of Overgrown Tomb for now. We also get Blood Crypt pretty soon here. Well, there's a Wastewood Verge. Never punished. Just play that. Plan to cycle this for a Stomping Ground to be able to go claim into Appraiser. Esper Origins. Well, I'm pretty sure Hunter's Talent doesn't do anything against us. I think they agree. Forest Cycling. Grab a Stomping Ground. There's another Stomping Ground. Go for a Surveil now. Take an Overlord. A little extra reach. Begin the chunkening. They put a Harmonizer on top. They're also chunkening. Their chunkening might be a little better with a Saz's Chocobo on the field. Might just have to pop this guy if I can. I mean, if they have protection, I look pretty foolish. Well, let's just go for another Appraiser. We didn't come here not to burn them out, you know? And we can just block the Saz's Chocobo once at least. Double claim. Kill you? Double cease on top? 6? 5? Okay. You have 1 turn. Can you kill me this turn? Can you do it? Can you get trample and present a big enough Chocobo? The geological appraiser is the truth for this list. I am like immediately sold. It's just figuring everything else out around the Duskmourn's claim idea. I think maybe just playing Rakdos makes sense. Especially it's a lot more reasonable with Blood Crypt in the format. I guess we just block here. I'm just going to chunk them for 4 in the face with the Overlord anyway. Put my faith in the claim here. Did we do it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Match number 3, huh? Sorry, game 3. Match 4. Pyroclasm on the draw could be the truth. Clear up a lot of dorks. We haven't seen Badgermole Cub, but surely they're playing Badgermole Cub. Let's cut random encounters. We don't need them. We don't need them. We win on the Duskmourn's claim. So if random encounters are gone, bring in Vivian Reed. Kills wagons. Kills the other thing. Earthbender Ascension. And then, what do we cut here? I kind of like the Land Cycler still for consistency. Maybe we cut the Haunt Woods. Try it like that. Just go all in on the Duskmourn's claim. Curious to see if this plays out well. But I think the Pyroclasms kind of make sense. There's a Pyroclasm. Yeah, try it out. It's really nice if they like just dump onto the board. There's a Duskmourn's claim. Come on. Badgermole Cub. Yes. I'm smarticles. Come on, play another one. It's really good. Keen-Eyed Curator? Okay. That's pretty good. Still. Gonna go for the Pyro. Whee! We're pretty well set up for this Duskmourn's claim. I like having the Armadillo to work with for a little extra life as well. Another Badgermole Cub. Holding it back. A geological appraiser. Wow. Wow. Okay. Play a Duskmourn's claim. Begin the chunkening. I don't know if it'll be enough. I mean, they're hitting me for quite a lot next turn. And, you know, this is more about their hits at this point than mine. Okay, they draw a land, I chunk them for 7. Pretty ideal. They could just be dead next turn if this goes according to plan. I could just be dead this turn. Scrap Shooter. Nice. Good tech. Ooh. Overlord. Okay. Overlord. Gosh, their board is just so big at this point, though. I'm taking a lot of damage. I kind of think I have to go for the Geological Appraiser. So, they can't quite yet turn on the Keen-Eyed Curator unless they have a Fabled Passage in hand. If I go for the Appraiser, I have to shock myself. I go to 10. I block the Scrap Shooter. I take 6 as it stands. But if I reveal like an Ice Till or a Harmonizer, I die to that. If I reveal, there's just so much that if I reveal, I die to. But I'm also just taking so much damage next turn. If I just play the Overlord, like impend the Overlord, I go to 10. Kind of the same situation. I'm going to play to my outs here, which is they draw nothing but basic forest and have nothing but basic forest in their hand. Appraiser. Go for another claim. Oh no, it's Pyroclasm. Right, I put Pyroclasms in my deck. I guess I don't have to cast this, but here we are. I accidentally did in my haste. Consistent Pyroclasm is an interesting piece. I you know, deck building flaw. I'll own up to it. It could kind of be a difference maker though. There's an Ice Till. There's a land. See if they mill into a land. They can exile the land and kill me. Nice. All right, good game. Good match. Well played by our opponent. But I'll be honest, this playing this is getting me excited for the prospect of the Rakdos version. I'm having fun with this one, but I think there's a bit more serious potential in a Rakdos build. Let's play one more. See if we can actually do a random encounter. I don't think we've cast it once this video, which is crazy. Match 5, final match. Random encounter in hand, decent amount of ramp. Kind of lines up really nicely, I think. I gave it a thought in between matches there, and I'm like, maybe the problem with this random encounter plus Duskmourn's Claim idea is that the Duskmourn's Claim speeds up the game so much, and random encounter obviously is 100% fully dependent on you surviving to cast it till turn 6, you know, and we're not ramping otherwise. So like we're giving our opponent a lot of resources, we're chunking ourselves for some amount of damage. It kind of maybe there's a bit of an asymmetry overall with the two ideas. Sad to admit, but might be the case in that, like, yeah, I mean, random encounter, you need to speed up yourself, ramp, etc., but we're not really a ramp deck like the traditional random encounter builds are. Go for a Conduit Pylons here. Maybe I should have just played a Swamp. I'm going to Forest Cycle for a Stomping Ground and plan to... I'm going to skip on this Overlord and plan to impend this Hauntwoods next turn. Looks like we're against black-white aristocrats, probably. Swing it in for 4. Not the end of the world here. Voice of Victory. Okay. Well, Pyroclasm could be good from our sideboard. Just have to remember the Geological Appraiser bit. Do we still want a Stomping Ground? It's a little risky. I think I'm just going to go for a Forest here. Plan to go maybe impend Overlord into cast Overlord. Accelerate our mana quite a bit. I think the problem with grabbing the Stomping Ground there is I don't want to take 2 damage. Pendant Overlord. Opponent has a pretty big clock, especially if they have like a Sephiroth or the Sanguine something. The Sanguine 1/1 that also drains. Kind of seems like they maybe don't have anything. Maybe they have removal or like Erase the Past. So we're surviving this turn. Can we survive next turn? That's kind of the question. Because if they have like a Get Lost here and they can remove my Overlord of the Hauntwoods, it's not looking very good for me. I think maybe I just have to go for like a impend this Overlord and kill their Voice of Victory. And hope I draw my 6th land for this random encounter in the future. They sacrifice, they surveil. Pass it back to you. Hits me. Okay. Well, I'm not dead yet. Land. I can't cast the random encounter, but I can just kill this Umbral Caller Zealot with another Overlord. Should be able to survive another turn that way. And eventually these will unimpend. Oh, they're impending. I like these cards a lot. I think they're very fun. Clunky, for sure. And I do remember the time when the Beans was the king of the format for a little bit. But those times weren't so bad, were they? I don't know. Reanimates the board. Reanimates their graveyard, rather. Another Overlord. Well, that in combination with this Overlord unimpending could keep us alive for another turn if they don't have anything. A little rough, the position we're in. Play to our outs here, I guess. It doesn't seem unlikely to me that they have a source of removal. Third Overlord of the Boiler Biggles. Try to shoot the Voice of Victory. And then they get lost by Haunt Woods and kill me. But let's make them have it. I guess they could also just play like one of their drain effects. Alright. Game 2. Bringing the Pyroclasms. Bringing some Graveyard Hate. Not, do we need the Graveyard Hate? Bringing the Pyroclasms. We could just, like, cut the Duskmourn's claim, make our Appraisers guaranteed Pyroclasm hitters, or maybe we just, like, cut the Appraisers. Because they get a little worse. Pyroclasm's, like, not that good against this deck, to be honest with you. There's a lot of 3 toughness floating around in it with the Sephiroths and the Voice of Victories. Maybe we just, like, run it back on the play, try to do our thing, and then come to a conclusion for Game 3 when we get there. Game 2 on the play. Keep this. We're hitting our land drops. We have a random encounter. Gaining a little life in the process. Have the possibility of doing a big pull as well to help close things out. Try it like this. They mulligan with the Ajani drip. Tap Stomping Grounds. Untapped Concealed Courtyard. Whoa, there's Duskmourn's claim. You know I like that. You know I'm a big fan of that. So we can cycle this Armadillo, grab our Swamp, play a claim, put us in a pretty decent spot to just start chunking them, you know? Grab our Swamp. Ooh, Boiler Biggles. Let the chunkening begin. Chunk them for 0. Chunk them for 0. See what they have going on here. Are they going to actually kill my Duskmourn's claim? I'd be a little surprised. I don't think they saw it in the first match. First game, rather. Swing for 2. There's no way they have nothing here. Isn't the whole point of your deck to have stuff early? Isn't that like the whole thing that you do? You have 6 lands in hand? Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier. With this beautiful art. Geological Appraiser. You shouldn't have. Yeah, I'm just going to kill the Sephiroth, though. Unless we just kill them with double Duskmourn's claim. Right on top. It was calling to me, right where it needed to be. Chunk 'em. Ooh, baby. Okay. Chunk 'em for 8, then chunk 'em for 0. But this Overlord of Boiler Briggle's in the hand. You know, put him to 8. Put him in a pretty decent spot to get chunked next turn. They're going to gain a little life, probably off this Sephiroth situation. But they can't really outright swing into me. I guess they could, like, they could just Tragic Trajectory my Appraiser. I kind of forgot this had 2 toughness, not 3. Okay. Drain. Yeah, they're kind of getting themselves out of chunk range a little bit here. Might have to do a bit of a safer turn next turn. Just like push the Sephiroth. I go to 9. Branch Snapper. No Armadillos in hand. I mean, 2 options here. Cross my fingers and just kind of hope that Duskmourn's Claim kills them. Push the Sephiroth. I don't know. Am I, like, dead through pushing Sephiroth, though? I'm dead for sure next turn if I don't kill them this turn. Or deal with the Sephiroth. But even if I deal with the Sephiroth, they have on board, like, activate the encampment, swing for 6. And not unlikely that I hurt myself a couple times on this claim. So maybe I just have to go for it. Put them to 11, increase the range of potential hits here. We didn't come here not to chunk. I'm going for the chunk. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. This is it. I feel it in my heart. I feel it so strongly in my heart. This is going to be the one. Sometimes I play competitive decks on this channel, and this is not one. No! They have Get Lost! No! It wasn't supposed to be like this. Okay. Alright, chunk them for 0. And then die. Alright, good run. 1 and 4. Pretty good run. I don't think I cast a single random encounter, which is insane to me. Absolutely crazy to me. But we got to see a lot of Duskmourn's Claim Geological Appraiser action, which maybe would be good if the deck was built around that idea. You know what I mean? I'm gonna draw that up real quick. I'll skip forward to that, and then for a future video I'll run that, and we can continue to chunk people. So let me show you what I got here. Okay, I think this is what I landed on. If you had the Harvester of Miseries and the extra Trumpeting Carnosaurs, you just play Rakdos. The islands are Blood Crypts when Lorwyn drops. Makes this a lot better. I've done something similar in Golgari, this Cat Gator idea, where you play all swamps, and some of them are the Surveil swamps. But I think this is the list. I think for Coiling Rebirth, playing to discard into or mill into the Cat Gators in your graveyard with Overlord. If you happen to do that, that's really good. You get to Coiling Rebirth those, but otherwise just like Coiling Rebirth on Trumpeting Carnosaur is pretty big game and a pretty consistent game plan. We have a ton of early game removal to slow down the game, and once again this combination of Duskmourn's Claim plus Geological Appraiser. Haven't really fleshed out the sideboard, but I think in a future video I'll do something like this. I'd have to get the Harvester of Miseries. Once again, you know, being mostly free to play kind of inhibits my deck building options, but a boy can dream. I think someday I will do this. So if you wanted to try something like this and you have the cards, go for it. And send me a video of you playing it so I get to live vicariously through your wild card collection or what have you. But thank you for watching. Not the best run today. That's okay. Had fun with it. Hope you did too. If you like content like this, I'll be posting standard videos every day. I got a little doom and gloom in my last video about my computer dying, but I think with some of the adjustments I made in my graphics card settings, I should be able to keep making videos for now at the very least. So why don't you come on back? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.